there is a wind of change. Change that will bring fresh breath into the society. And that fresh breath is none other than the President, Nelson Havi. We know age limit must fall. Age limit must fall because the dynamics are in the favor of the young advocates. We know we have a brave new bar. Those of you who know Nelson Havi, you know that he's a sharpshooter. He does not play around. He means what he says and he does it. And that is where we say it will be a brave new bar. So without wasting any time, I would like to hand over the microphone to the President. Please welcome him with a round of applause.
Good evening. Good evening again.
Good evening.
Let's do this rehearsal. I will say a brave new bar, and the response will be age limit must fall. So shall we? A brave new bar.
Age limit must fall.
A brave new bar.
Age limit must fall.
Now, if you have a president who has been accompanied by very able ministers, like the ones I have here, essentially, the Council of the Law Society is the cabinet of the Law Society. I think they have said so much, sufficient enough to formulate policy that will determine the leadership of LSK for the next 2 years. Ni kweli au uongo? Si umsaja wa Basaja amesema anaitwa Cohen, si ndio? Si the rainmaker amesema anaitwa Mwanza, si msichana Aloso Ngati, msichana super amesema. Kweli au uongo? Nikisahau jina lako unaniambia. Si huyu jamaa Muluya Theory amesema. Basikia Catherine amesema, si ndio? Mjumbe wetu kwa wapi ule wa chai si amesema. Mmesikia? Nani mwingine sijamtaja jina? Auntie yangu Wilkista hapa amesema. Kuna mwingine sijamtaja jina? Aluso nimemtaja. Na tena namtaja mara ya pili sababu yeye she is the embodiment of age limit must fall. Sawa sawa? Now, permit me first to thank the leadership of LSK Kisumu. SM Otieno was here to open this gathering in the early hours of this evening. And you see, this being a stronghold of my elder brother, I think he's my uncle, he's not competent to be my brother, he's too senior to be my brother. This is the stronghold of Akrimama. And I think everybody here who resides and practices in Kisumu must have mastered a lot of courage to come to this gathering. Because if in an ordinary situation this was to be interrogated, watasema kwamba nyime change quarter agree. Lakini you have change quarter agree. I can see many of you here are within the age limit must fall bracket. But don't feel isolated. I can tell you without any fear of contradiction. When we were at Imperial in the morning for the better part of it, many senior lawyers were calling me by the side and they were telling me, you know, out of experience, we cannot take many bold actions as you do, or as many of the young supporters you have here do. We're a little bit careful, but take it to the bank. We'll give you the vote. You understand? So that these senior advocates within Kisumu town and within the greater Western region have agreed that age limit must fall. Because they understand that at one particular point in time, they were in the position in which you and I are. And even within that position, they were given the opportunity to lead. If you were to ask individuals like Paul Mwita at what age he became the chairman of the Law Society of Kenya, he'll tell you it was at a very tender age in the 30s. For heaven's sake, I may look a little bit 1 GB, but I'm very old. I'm 40 years old. You understand? So we need to transform and rejuvenate the Law Society of Kenya. We need to take back the Law Society. I will elaborate just a few things that have happened in the recent past that will demonstrate to you that we are losing the Law Society and we are losing the practice of law as lawyers. How many are aware of the technology that has been introduced in the company registry, where anybody in the street can register a company. Is that the case? Recently, they have said that even at the land registry, they don't need the services of a lawyer. Somebody can just go to a computer and facilitate the registration of a transfer or a lease. So what do they want these young lawyers to do? Do they want us to commit suicide? Do they want us to borrow tunnels to KCB? I think if all of us were to do that, we'll exhaust all the deposits of the monies in this country, because we have the capability, isn't it? But we don't want to do that. We want to do that which we were trained to do. Now, Ario said, as lawyers, we need to embrace technology. Ario means 3. So, I mean, 2, double. Oh, perfect. So, Ario said, we need to embrace technology, and we need to have it as the biggest tool to facilitate our functions. I fully agree with him. Now, in those areas that I've said, government is trying to operationalize the systems to enable us to perform better. We need to ensure that those systems are not put in place to sabotage the fee-earning function of a lawyer. It's as simple as that. Let there be a system within the company registry. Let there be a system within the land registry, an online system to facilitate this work. But the footprint, the fingerprint, and the stamp of a lawyer should not be eliminated. Is that the correct case? Because how otherwise will we be able to earn a living as a lawyer? Number 2, even within the law society itself, we have seen an attempt to implement what will have otherwise been a very elaborate process to enable us get a practicing certificate. Maybe because of my noise, I tried once, and when it was not working, I called the law society and told Mercy Wambua, if this thing does not go through today, I will verily come there by myself and it will be fine. So it went through. But my wife, who is also a lawyer, has been traveling to crack this thing for the last 3 weeks. Now, if a hard copy manual application for a PC takes 5 minutes, why should an online application take 3 weeks? Iko shida. Kweli ya uongo? Na hiyo shida nitamwambia penye inatokea. It is in the Secretariat of the Law Society of Kenya. And this problem is not peculiar to the Law Society of Kenya. You've seen, and this has been documented in many investigative reports in Kenya, we have situations whereby we have bodies or even commissions that have been given a clear mandate, but those commissions or bodies tend to be interfered with through the Secretariat. You've seen it at the IBC. You've seen it at the ESCC. That is the same thing that is being replicated at the Secretariat. We need to go into this Secretariat and ensure that it functions. We were supposed to have directorates within the Secretariats. Are they there, Theory? They're not there. So, in actual fact, we have the functions of an entire Secretariat being run by one individual. This individual may be overwhelmed. This individual may be compromised. Look, to the detriment of the welfare of about 14,000 lawyers, it is not proper. So first things first, when we get into the office, we'll have to deal with that Secretariat. Isn't that what you guys want? Yes. So that if you are here in Kisumu, if you are in Kiambu, if you are in Nanyuki, if you are in Kitale, you're able to get the things that matter to you most dealt with dispatch. You know, the only reason why you guys are prestigious is because of the practicing certificate. If they snatch the practicing certificate, there is no difference between you and a taxi driver or a waiter. So we need to ensure that we're able to get a practicing certificate and it's done expeditiously. There are many things that we've been talking about, and permit me to be bold and loud as a Gasner, AK Afro, has said. Maybe you kudanganya, I always say the way it is. Sidio, what we need as lawyers is to have a functional system. A functional system in the judiciary, in the land registry, the company registry, and before the DPP. The reason as to why Lady Aluso is so much engaged in a criminal court is because somebody thought a lawyer was doing his work so well that he had to be stopped. And not just to be stopped in any other manner, but to be stopped by killing him. And this thing has become so paramount. The other day we saw in Machakos, when the sitting governor perceived that he was about to lose the case, he transported his anger on an advocate, Hamlagat. Did you see that story? This thing has to stop. And it can only stop if we have a president with a council that can speak and act boldly. Ikiwa kuna shida kwa DCI, tunaenda wote huko wengi, almost 1,000. Ikiwa kuna shida land registry, tutaenda huko 1,000. Believe you me, they will act upon our demands. Because the night is near, and from my estimation in this gathering, there are so many bachelors and spinsters wanataka waende watembee by the lakeside. We need to abridge this discussion so that we release them. I will address just one point for the benefit of all of us, and another point in respect of the matter that is currently in court. Who remembers what we were taught today at the CPD? What was the first presentation? Hands down? Cybercrime. Okay. It's only a gas now who remembers. So 10% of us remember. And I can't blame you. Even me, I don't remember. You know why? Because most of us rush here to get points. But I remember. Don't say the president doesn't remember. I'm using it figuratively. As I think it is Umsaji Obasaja who said, no, it was Umwanza. Often you attend a CPD and the speaker is somebody who does not have any distinction in what they're talking about. We need CPDs to be peculiar to the areas of practice of certain regions, so that when you go there, you are enriched. Honestly, some of the guys are always here educating us on civil procedure. I've never seen them in court. So you wonder what civil procedure they're talking about. And look at it from another point of view. If you check the register of lawyers at LSK, you'll find certain individuals who have not ever sought to obtain those CPDs. Maybe they're a member of parliament or a governor, but at the end of the year they'll be issued with a practice certificate. Isn't that the case? Why? We should not have this discrimination. If somebody has decided he doesn't want to be a lawyer, then he shouldn't be a lawyer. These things should be applied equally to all of us. And I think there is no justification whatsoever making it a mandatory requirement of getting a practice certificate. Let it be just the normal training. Have you ever heard of any engineers going for these things specifically for purposes of getting the renewal of their licenses? No. I think there are better ways of ensuring that all of us are trained better, because training is good, but it shouldn't be a punishment. So those are some of the things that my able cabinet that you've seen here will look into. I'm told also by my governor of Kakamega that the remuneration status of most young lawyers is something that needs to be addressed. Initially, I had suggested a minimum wage of 40,000, but I was fought very ferociously and very intriguingly by most employers up country, because they told me, you guys in Nairobi may afford 40,000 as a minimum, but up country may not do that. I think this is an issue that we will need to discuss within the national office together with the branch. For a fact, we need a minimum wage. There is no way in which one advocate will be getting 20,000 shillings and another one getting 80,000 shillings as a basic salary. It needs to be made commensurate to the region, bear in mind the cost of living where one resides and practices, and also the capability of the firm. But for a fact, we need to know. Because even in the medical profession or the nursing profession, they will tell you there is a minimum. A doctor earns this amount of salary as he or she enters the market. Isn't that a good idea, young lawyers? Because we as proponents of age limit must fall. We should not just make noise. Our noise should translate into active action. Another thing that I need to address, which also relates to the pending case that we have in court on Monday, is about the franchise in the Law Society. I think the problem we have right now is because many decisions are being made in the boardroom, and then they just brought to us either in the general meeting or in the special general meeting for rubber stamping. I don't think that is a good idea. And as a first step towards ensuring transparency in the governance of the Law Society, I will want the deliberation of the council to be open so that all members are able to see what is happening. And you see, I'm not just contemplating my own things. As we speak here, we are transmitting live. Everybody can be able to see. Everybody can be able to follow. So that if 2 years down the line, you'll come and tell me Havi lied, we'll be able to check. You understand? We have the proceedings of Parliament aired live. Isn't that the case? Do you know the reason why we have this? Because the members of Parliament will retreat and say, it's not me who voted against that bill. It's not me who made that representation, it was theory. And then Marenda said, okay, fine, we'll sort out this thing. We'll put cameras there, and your electors will be able to see what you're doing. You understand? That way, we'll be able to get rid of these contradictions we always see, where at one point in time, a particular position is communicated by the president, a different position is communicated by the vice president, and another position communicated by the council. Isn't that a good idea? Yes. So that we're not just told these are the minutes. I mean, how do we verify these are the minutes? How do we know that the 12 of you did not just sit after the fact and originate this minute? Now, lastly, the Law Society does not provide equal opportunity for all. Why should it be that all of us are able to vote, but only some of us should vie? We don't have a similar requirement in any other professional body in Kenya. And even if you are to interrogate the origin of the common law, go to the United Kingdom. They don't have these restrictions. These restrictions were put in by Professor Kisumu. And me being an honest person, I'll just say as it is. Why do they put these restrictions to us? And when they have to apply to their children, they take them to a courtroom to do an examination there. We don't want these things. Let the law be applied equally. Because when Wakina Theory reviewed this thing, they'd come up with a very good idea. They say the maximum limits for this thing should be 10 years. That was the case. When this bill went to Parliament, Kisumu guy took it up to 15 years. 20 years. Yeah. What is the yardstick? Interrogate it in this particular way. It means on your second year after admission, you qualify for election as a council member. And then if you've served as a council member now for a term, that will be your 4th year. Then your 5th year, you've qualified for election as president or vice president. Now, do you want to tell me an advocate of 5 years practice experience is in the same category as a Supreme Court judge? No, it's not rational. It doesn't make any sense. And if this thing was to apply to all of us equally, we wouldn't have a problem. But it doesn't. It segregates. It is for that reason, therefore, that we say we want to go and have a final determination. We will remove the age limit, whether by court or by resolution. How many are we in percentage? Lawyers who are below the practice years of 15. I think we constitute almost 75%. So we'll remove this thing. So, sir. Lastly, I seek your prayers that we succeed in the litigation that is in court, and eventually when we are on the ballot, vote for the candidates that express the best of the views that resonate with what we hold firm. And I think those are the candidates that stand for hashtag a brave new bear. Those are the candidates that stand for hashtag age limit must fall. And as recently coined by Gassner, hashtag having it. Is that? Havi, have it. Na muomba mnipigie kura nitapokuwa Kudebe. Asanteni sana.